Now it's very, and it's dark.
Sewer jetter.
Yeah.
I can put his if need
I
be.
don't know. I mean, she's got a real drive vehicle.
I imagine he's forgotten.
Just stay home, probably. My brother was the one. Yeah, yeah. But you said you were sure. You know, like Billings maybe, because I think both. Your Billings both. At least in Helen. So.
This one right here, this discussion possible action.
She was the same. Well, that's right. She does work full time. Yeah.
Today.
And she's like, oh.
We're doing that, she has December and all, and it doesn't even have to be a council.
Yeah, my brother is still on.
Everything just go.
They just had next steps. Getting number 4. Oh, boy.
Five. Yeah, five.
Consider.
What's this funny?
Is the end of the
Last night. Don't give me
Okay, cool.
That's what was here. There. Discussion. So do I, what do I say? Have a public hearing? Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. He's really, go forward. And he likes it.
He's gonna give you item 5 regarding the seats between hearings on how we're gonna explain.
Was the agenda for the work session?
Do you need the work session?
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Really saying I was there last Tuesday.
It looks like it's
Tuesday cover, but you know. All right, Drew, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Right, candy, sweet.
that's what was up in
Been there.
CRZ.
Okay.
Actually, should be up.
Hired it, everything. Stay.
Fantastic, how you doing?
So.
So can I both of you coming?
Me and Chris talked, because we got ours today. Chris and I. All right, first grade school teacher.
Yeah.
Me too, that's why. Yeah. And Chris though. He gets it. And of course, when you let me hand read, your butt worse. You didn't have to get.
He's not opening.
He's trying to open up with every once in a
I'll
while.
put it as item.
I haven't seen him.
No. Kelsey, are we ready?
Oh, my God.
They're not hooked up anymore anyway.
Oh.
They're not? Oh, well, then, why are we looking to turn them off?
Well, the lights on.
The lights.
Well, that's because they're on battery.
Yeah.
I love you gonna have the money.
Okay, let's go ahead and, start this. This is town council work session. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, year 2022 at approximately 17:30 hours. Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Councilor Henderson. Vice Mayor McKenzie.
Yep.
Mayor Hanson.
Yeah.
Councilor Davis. Councilor Scott.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Okay, we'll go to new business, 3 community development block grant fiscal year 23, discussion work session regarding the upcoming CDBG grant. The town of Springerville is expected to receive approximately $219,855 in fiscal 2023 federal CDBG funds from the Arizona Department of Housing Regional Account. RA, CDBG funds must be used to benefit low-income persons in areas, alleviate slum and blight, or address the urgent need. Departments will be presenting ideas to the council. Okay. Do it. First.
Robin can't be here because she's homesick. So I'm gonna do her presentation. If you need a content.
I don't have any.
It's a little bit, but.
So it's just what's in my packet.
Are you gonna start this off, Chris?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Okay, so Robin's proposal for using the CDBG money is to do some upgrades at the kitchen at the senior center. I can attest that there's some necessary improvements up there that need to happen. We're talking the whole hood range, which is with the answer system, the whole fire protection stuff. We're talking the swamp cooler for the building. It's totally rusted out. It's crispy. And but there's that kitchen is really small, really needs to be
Yeah, guys.
gone through so they can effectively put their dinners out for the members of the community. So,
We have approximate cost that would take.
well, we have $180,000, pretty much net when it comes down to putting this together. We could take the necessities that have to be done and then any other improvements. I would like to see if it's possible to do a drawing to actually make that kitchen a little wider. It's really narrow and it's hard for them to operate in there. They don't complain about it, but you could see that it would be far more efficient if that kitchen was able to expand. So if we could try to do a little expansion on that and then bring in the hood system, fix that ventilation system with the new swamp cooler that she has proposed. It would take that, we could use the whole $180,000 there if we wanted to.
We could. Thank you.
But that's in a nutshell. We were supposed to do 3 minutes apiece on these presentations, so I don't want to go over. But this is, I think most of our projects are really worthwhile projects. We could look at these and then the decision on when we have to do these projects is going to come in probably January or February.
Pardon me?
When we have to actually have to pick a project.
January.
January. Okay.
All right, any questions on it?
I think it's a great project.
Thank you.
So we got that. Kelsey, what else?
That will be fine. So for the fire department, they did not put together a nice little presentation for you. But they had asked for possibly buying washer and dryers for turnouts and some concrete work that's needed at the fire department. He
Okay.
hasn't had an opportunity to get cost estimates, but he's confident that he could use the full amount.
How much concrete are we talking?
And how much work on dryers?
Apparently those washer and dryers for turnouts are not like a normal one.
We're commercial to help remove the
I think they're about 7,000
carcinogens
pieces. is what he-
Wow.
out of their suits.
So for my project, I'm proposing, repaving of Pima.
Yes.
So according to HUD.gov, there's only 2 low-income housing opportunities in the town of Springerville. One of those is 36 North Pima and the other is Via Escadilla. Construction of North Pima would serve an urgent need for those low income. Per CDBG, you need 51% of the affected people to be low to moderate income. Based off my math on the utility customers and the units at that, this would serve 75% of low to moderate income. So CDBG funds will not cover the full amount of this. I have talked to Heidi. We have WIFA funds for doing the water project for that road, if we're gonna tear up the road
Right.
and replace it. It has a new sewer line, but it does need water line. We do have WIFA for that. Based off of our last estimate for FEMA, it was $312,000. With inflation, we estimated around 400, if not more. We do have some money in the budget to subsidize the 180,000. And then here's some visuals of flooding that occurred, potentially because of the road condition. We're not sure. Here is entering into the low income housing area. It shows where the road is completely deteriorated. And right here is outside the reds. You can't tell where the parking lot has ended and the road has begun.
Right.
And then this way as well, it's hard to tell where the road ends and it's just right away. Any questions on?
And what did we do on that street? We put in a new sewer
Yes, we tore up the street, put in
Yeah.
sewer without funds to replace.
to replace it. Okay, cool. All right.
Let me see if there's anyone else that's not here. No, Marcy, can you do those?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so, CDBG grant money can be used for historic restoration. And
Andy?
yes,
Okay.
and as everybody knows, the floors in the museum have needed for quite some time, a lot of work. I did get a couple of proposals on it. For them to come in, we would have to hire somebody from outside to move everything out of the museum. Would have to be closed for about 8 days. And the cost on it is anywhere between 20 and 30,000, depending on what actually has to be done. I haven't gotten a formal bid on it because for someone to come and do one, they're gonna charge between $300 and $400 because no one in this area will do it. They'll have to cut them out of the security fence. Also in the museum, the exterior doors need to be replaced. Everything leaks. The doors on the east side of the building don't even open and close.
Right.
We have rain. And also interior paint and drywall repair. There's holes. There's actually some type of something growing next to one of these doors as well. So those basically are for the museum. The other thought that I had was the road to Casa Malpais. I do not know what the cost would actually be for that. That is something that Public Works would basically have to give you numbers on what it would entail to repair that, but that road is very bad. And it does bring in tourism. So that is the other, and the picnic tables and the restroom out there could use some refreshing as well. That was what I had in my original proposal, but in addition to that, I also wanted to propose, because our area is low income, the park that is back behind, we had a great fall fest that we did in the park, but we're very limited. If we can put lighting in, it would increase security. in that park area. And we could do a lot more events that were in the evenings and went into night, like movies in the park and things like that, which would benefit all of the area. So those are my any
Okay.
questions.
No.
Okay.
Go, Marlon.
You can,
Yes, make it easy.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilors, I think our ideas for this were due maybe on my second day in the new position. But I took a look at first the requirements of CDBG funding. And one of those is that proposed projects must have had an environmental review done, and I had just begun participating in the Apache County Brownfield Assessment Project, where various properties within town limits were going through environmental studies, one of those being 23 South Papago, which you all know is the old fire station and where it is located. So what I'm proposing is a community gathering space, potentially to include other uses, maybe partnering with Northland Pioneer College or Northern Arizona Vocational Institute of Technology is another organization I learned about that is also working on building skilled trade opportunities in our community. And that use ties to our general plan, which calls for downtown and neighborhood opportunities for revitalization, infill, development, and reuse. It seems to me that there's a small footprint for what's available for redevelopment and infill in the downtown area. So this seemed to lend itself and work well with the purpose of CDBG funding. And in just putting together this memo for this project, I found an article in the White Mountain Independent from 2008 that detailed the progression of the project of the Heritage Museum that we have. And it was it didn't happen quickly. It happened between 2003 and 2008 is what I'm understanding from my research. And so this seemed to me to be a good jumping off point to potentially start a new community service area there. The phase 2 environmental for the property just came back this afternoon. I had written in my memo that these $180,000 of funds could go to abate whatever they found in the environmental studies. It looks as though through a quick review that there may not be an environmental abatement that needs to be done at that property, which would then mean that $180,000 could be used to begin the work of community planning to transform that space into something that everyone needs. Questions?
No. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the last one.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Chris. You see mine, we've got a snowplow and a dump truck and a ram hitch, which certainly we could use. And running all of these projects over with my staff in Public Works, we love all of them. We take care of most of them anyway. And we're eventually responsible for doing the maintenance on all the buildings and the streets and as you're all aware. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of them, Mr. Chairman, you know, Mr. Mayor and Chris. So that's all I had.
Thanks. Anything else? Chris?
There was one other one on this list. It was for a new office building for the Public Works Department. And we found out yesterday that this project didn't qualify for the CDBG.
It does not.
Okay. Then we're done.
Does council have any ideas that they would like us to bring back to a public hearing or run past CDBG?
Other than I was already gonna listen.
Mm-hmm. If you guys wanted.
What about, the finishing with the lighting on the main street? Would that fall under this?
Hospitals. That's where we got the last one. Is it? So is it? So is it?
So finish writing on me. Okay, if we can run that one by her.
Okay, thank you. I guess Kelsey, we just see that, priority. Like, what's our priority and what needs to be fixed now, Okay,
Anybody else?
no, you got anything, Richard? Huh? No. Anything else that? No? Okay. If you've got nothing else, then item 4 is adjournment.
Make a motion that we, town council work session. Do I need to make a motion? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second. Any discussion, but anything? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
It would have taken 15 minutes. If I would have made it 15 minutes, it would have took 30.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Met you last week, and I wanted to go over and. You are not, you feel just. Double check.
Always through all to the left. Yes, welcome to theater.
Do you want to talk about all of the, there should be a few. And then. Yeah, anyway, so it's just.
All right.
Just really cost.
All right.
And then.
Keep sharing that.
You think I was out?
Oh, okay. Maybe they're all scared at.
Maybe you're just a little paranoid.
They're right.
Yeah, camera on you too tonight.
Yeah, they-
Nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same three. That way, twice with that. And then we can discuss it and then we can. Talk to last. Yeah. No action. Yeah. So on this one, I don't know what it is, so we can read it. Right? So we read that. Read that. And then read it. I just have.
Well, no, can't read it. Is there something? Yeah, okay, it's gotta be following it, yeah.
Say that. So, right?
Thanks for saving it for me.